Coming up on Around San Diego, more changes are coming to homeowners insurance, this time impacting your earthquake coverage. We are working for you, sharing more about the changes and when they will take effect. And new data shows the amount of short-term rental units available in San Diego could be impacting the homeless crisis. We'll take a closer look. Plus, the Chargers were back in San Diego hosting a special open practice at Camp Pendleton. Our Marcus Greaves shares their story. Hello, and thank you so much for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day. I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and look ahead in less than 30 minutes. So we are learning more about insurance changes, this time to earthquake policies. The California Earthquake Authority has been sending letters to customers about these changes. We read through them and learned that instead of covering $200,000 worth of personal property, all policies will now cover only up to $25,000. And in some cases, the deductible is rising to a minimum of 15%. That happens if your home was built before 1980 and isn't retrofitted, or if your home is worth more than $1 million.
They ran into the same problem that regular insurance companies are having, which is that the reinsurance that they have to buy for the really high dollar risk is gotten very expensive.
Yeah, so we reached out to the California Earthquake Authority. They cited inflation and rising construction costs as reasons for these changes. Well, the San Diego City Council unanimously passed Mayor Gloria's proposed $5.8 billion budget for the 2024-25 fiscal year. The budget passed adds $8.4 million in general fund expenditure modifications, including $3 million for the city's community fund for the January 22nd flood victims and $1 million for a youth care and development program. It also includes funding for the controversial proposal of a 1,000-bed shelter for those experiencing homelessness. You can read more about the budget on our website, cbs8.com. Well, city leaders announced $37 million in federal funding to improve the Mission Beach stormwater system. This will allow San Diego to upgrade the out-of-date storm drain infrastructure that dates back to the 1940s. This project now includes new drains along Mission Boulevard, gates that prevent tidal water from entering storm drains, and ways to divert some runoff to the existing sewer system. Councilmember Jennifer Campbell spoke at Wednesday's announcement.
Here in San Diego, we've seen firsthand the devastating impacts that an outdated stormwater system can have on our residents. I don't know if you've seen the films from the big storm in January, how Mission Beach was so flooded.
Yeah, so the project will also restore curbs, gutters, and resurface streets. Construction is set to begin next spring. Well, a man bitten by a shark last week in Del Mar is now out of the hospital. Caleb Adams is recovering at home, and he says that he was swimming on June 2nd with a club when the shark bit him in the chest. His friends raced him to the shore.
When I saw how bad it was for the first time, I realized I don't want him to see this, and so I just tried to cover up with my hand so that he wouldn't look down.
Yeah, so meanwhile, Cal State Long Beach Shark Lab is running tests to figure out what kind of shark it was, how many of them are in the area, and really why it bit Adams in the first place.
Whether it's feeding related, whether it's defensive related, it's hard to tell. So the more information we can get, the better.
Yeah, we are coexisting. So the Shark Lab says test results probably won't get back for at least a couple more weeks. So why is the ocean water so brown right now? It is not dirty. It's actually the red tide, but scientists say it's not the one that creates that beautiful light show in the water. A red tide usually does mean there's a lot of plankton in the water, but the organism that creates that bioluminescence has not been detected. Scientists say patches of this red tide stretch to Orange County, but it is starting to dissipate. Well, we are now getting a look at just how many short-term rentals there are in the city of San Diego. A data expert has been collecting maps for his website, niceneighbors.org. He says a loophole in the short-term rental ordinance allows owners to license multiple units using the names of family members, which he says has a negative impact on the housing market in San Diego.
The market has been overrun with corporate operators who run more than one property, who are doing this as an investment opportunity to capture the most amount of revenue they can.
The city of San Diego says it has issued more than 8,600 short-term rental licenses. A city council committee will review the ordinance next month. Well, a new study by UC San Diego is warning against the sale of unregulated so-called magic mushrooms. Researchers found a toxic mushroom called Amanita muscaria is being marketed the same as psilocybin mushrooms, but they have opposite effects. Psilocybin mushrooms, also called magic mushrooms, are used in clinical trials as possible treatment for mental disorders. They say, though, that this Amanita muscaria is a depressant and could be more toxic than fentanyl.
There have been adverse effects from people being hospitalized and dying from just consuming the mushrooms alone.
Yes, psilocybin mushrooms are a Schedule I drug and are illegal to use outside of studies, while Amanita muscaria has minimal regulation and is not on a controlled substance list. Well, there is more fallout over the recent protests at UC San Diego. The university says it has placed graduation holds on 7 seniors, all of whom were arrested on campus during protests against the war in Gaza. On May 6, police arrested 40 students and 2 professors. The university says the students have to go through a student conduct process. Under UC San Diego policy, a case can take more than a month to resolve. And during that time, the university will withhold degrees or transcripts. This as graduations are set for this weekend. The city attorney tells CBS 8 that UC San Diego police have started referring cases to their office for possible prosecution. Well, people living in Mount Hope say they want the city of San Diego to revamp the neighborhood's only park. They say they've been promised improvements for years, but nothing has changed. They showed us pictures of Dennis V. Allen Park from 1987, and it looks almost the same. Last year, the park did get a new play structure after the last one was destroyed in a fire. The city also installed a nature exploration area, but the people who live nearby say that it's hardly used and has been vandalized.
You see all these other neighborhoods getting all these wonderful things, YMCAs, you know, stuff to bring the community together. We aren't getting any of that.
Yeah, working for you, CBS 8 did find that a general development plan is in the works, but it hasn't been approved yet. It could include a new recreation center, dog park, and ball field. A city spokesperson says it's scheduled to be complete this fall, and community meetings will take place this summer. Well, the Los Angeles Chargers made their way to San Diego County again, hosting an open practice at Camp Pendleton earlier this week. Our Marcus Greaves was there on Tuesday and shares the fun fan experience.
Well, football season is approaching, and today was day 1 of the Chargers mini camp, but they wanted to switch up the scenery a little bit and travel down south right here to Camp Pendleton, where they had a chance to not only practice here, but meet the heroes of our country. On the field, they are heroes, but today, it was all about the ones off of it.
Let's go, Derwin!
Service members and their families got to experience being up close and personal with the Bolts.
Anybody that wants to come down from the stands, get close. Get close.
Man, how cool is it for all y'all to be here and get to see the Chargers here as well?
Man, this is a rare occasion. We never get nothing like this, you know, so it's cool. I mean, look around. Got all the families out here. Everybody's excited, so it's a cool experience. We appreciate y'all being out here, you know.
There will be a chance for some autographs out here. Who you running to first? I know you want to run to somebody.
I'm not a football fan, but I'm going to go with number 10.
Number 10, Justin Herbert, starting quarterback. Why him?
10 is a good number.
As much as the service members enjoyed the day, the players enjoyed this event just as much.
This is awesome. You know, I've had some fellow friends and family here who's actually here at Camp Pendleton, so I got to see some familiar faces. Just love and respect everyone out here.
Oh, it's definitely great. You know, I didn't know what to expect today. He's just saying we're going to Camp Middleton and Pendleton, and it's like, I don't know what's going on, man. I just got to practice, you know. But, you know, I'm just happy to see everybody, happy to be able to see the guys that's going to war for our country, you know, and I respect them a lot, and I'm definitely humbled and honored to be around them.
It's really awesome. Being able to be on base, you know, be in front of all the, you know, the Marines and their family, it's awesome to kind of just be able to have a fun day out here, you know, bring some joy to the community and to people, you know, who serve us in our country.
And there were a ton of smiles, laughs, and football talk today, but the message throughout the entire event was simply a thank you to the service members for everything they do. And you could really still feel the love that San Diego County has for the Chargers. From Camp Pendleton, I'm Marcus Greaves, CBS 8.
You know, we sure do. Marcus, thank you. Coming up, a local company is celebrating 30 years in a big way. Our Abby Black shows us how PPI Power is thanking its employees. Welcome back. A local company may have the answer to keeping employees happy. PPI Power is celebrating 30 years in business, and they're thanking their employees who made it happen. CBS 8's Abby Black shares how the company is making waves with its workers this summer.
PPI Power stands for Pacific Precision Instruments, but it may as well stand for people, passion, and investment, because this is a company that truly believes in its employees and sending them on a cruise of a lifetime.
You know, I've been coming through that door for 30 years.
An engineering firm that started out of a home garage 30 years ago is more than just a tech company.
Every time I come through the door, I think of every person that works here.
Chris Dill is the president of PPI Power in Kearney Mesa. She helped start a company that builds the hardware for in-flight entertainment, but for Chris, it's more than a business.
I think of customers and suppliers and employees like a wheel, you know.
It's a family.
And the wheel has to keep moving, and they're as important to the wheel as the customers are and as suppliers.
Over the last 3 decades, Dill and CEO Jim Haig's vision for the company has not faded.
It's the American dream.
The employees say PPI isn't just a job, it's a community.
What this whole company stands for is families.
Literally, PPI is family.
My mom's been here over 25 years. My dad is over 20 years. And I'm 16 years here so far.
The epic Christmas parties over the years, 2 weeks off for the holiday to recharge for the new year.
Everything that we actually have done has always been together. Our Christmases, our parties, it's always been a family, no matter what we do.
But the biggest thank you is happening this Saturday.
A cruise through the Caribbean. Yay!
PPI bosses offered to send all 30 employees and a +1 in a discount for their kids on an all-expense paid inclusive cruise through the Caribbean.
Like, oh my God, this is like a lifetime. Like, I don't think you'll ever get this chance.
In a time when workforce trends show that more than half of the companies in the U.S. are experiencing turnover, PPI says their retention is taking off.
Some of them are no longer with us, but they're always going to be with us in our hearts.
Dill says this cruise is a big investment, but the payoff is even bigger.
The bottom line will come. You don't focus so much on that as if you focus on the human beings that make the bottom line. The bottom line comes naturally.
In Kearney Mesa, Abby Black, CBS 8.
So amazing, Abby, thank you. Well, the city of San Diego now officially acknowledges the city sits on native land. Monday, City Council unanimously voted to approve a resolution acknowledging San Diego sits on undeeded territory of the Kumeyaay people who are indigenous to the region. A land acknowledgement is a formal statement that recognizes and respects indigenous people as traditional stewards of a geographic area. Well, what would it feel like to be in charge of America's 7th largest city for a day? In the Zevely Zone, Jeff tagged along with the winner of San Diego's Mayor for a Day contest.
City Hall, it's a huge building with an even bigger job waiting for a 14-year-old boy.
Hi, good morning.
After passing through security, Mayor for a Day winner, Uma Onwunchekwa, headed up to the 11th floor. How you feeling?
I'm feeling really good this morning. I really feel like I'm really happy to have this moment, to have this opportunity to get to meet the mayor.
Not just the mayor, but his entire staff.
Welcome, Mr. Mayor. How you doing?
Excellent. San Diego's top officials were relieved to hear.
Hello, everybody. My name is Uma Onchekwa.
Mayor Uma wouldn't be downsizing on his first day.
All of these jobs sound very, very important and very, very necessary to keep this city running.
Every minute of this day is spoken for. Mayor Uma is now attending a groundbreaking ceremony at Brown Field in front of the entire media. When Mayor Gloria was in elementary school, he entered the Mayor of the Day contest as a 10-year-old.
I was the third runner-up in that contest in 1989. This has been a very long apprenticeship to get this job.
Mayor Gloria revived this tradition 2 years ago and says Uma's ideas to help the city stood out from the pack.
I was just struck by his understanding of our housing and homelessness crisis.
Mayor Gloria says he loves his job and wants to inspire the next generation to consider a job in public service, which leads us to the police department.
Mr. Mayor, how are you? I'm feeling good.
This was San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall's first day on the job.
What would you say right now are your biggest problems when it comes to, crime?
Mayor Uma drilled him about issues like homelessness and the importance of connecting with youth. He came in here and he kind of hit you with some tough questions.
Yeah, impressive. I'm gonna go get him an application is what I want to do.
Thank you.
That's outstanding. Never give up. Keep that passion.
After a ride along with officers, Uma visited the fire department with advice from the mayor still burning in his mind.
Stay who you are. Authenticity is what people want to see in their leaders. They won't agree with you all the time, but they just want to know that you're bringing the right heart to the issue.
Mayor Uma spoke with heart in front of the city council and then reflected on what he learned.
You need to be able to be cooperative, but you also need to be able to be stern, and you need to have a good moral compass to be able to say this is the right thing for the city.
He says the key to America's finest city is keeping an open mind, teamwork, and lots of handshakes. How soon do you want this job?
I'd say
in the Zevely zone.
A year after I can apply. A year after I can apply, I'll take it.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Jeff Zevely, CBS 8.
Yeah, no doubt he'll do it. The future looks bright. Uma is entering his freshman year at Kearney High. He believes increased housing density with more multi-unit properties would help ease the homeless and housing crisis. Well, San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria did appoint the city's next fire chief, Deputy Robert Logan II. Logan, a lifelong San Diegan, has been with the San Diego Fire Rescue Department for 24 years. He is the co-founder of Lincoln High School's Fire Protection Program. He's also an active member of Women in Fire, a national organization dedicated to empowering women in the fire and emergency services field. The current chief, Colin Stowell, is retiring in August after 36 years of service. The city council is expected to hold a confirmation hearing for Logan in July. Well, that will do it for us. Thank you, as always, for your time. Thanks for staying informed. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take such good care.